Google lays off 30,000 people? Yes. Everybody is freaked out about AI. Everybody's so concerned about AI taking their jobs. Generative AI is coming for my job. In fact, a lot of writers are concerned. A lot of creative people are concerned. A lot of salespeople are concerned. A lot of people are concerned. They're really, really concerned about AI taking their jobs. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again many, many times, is that a lot of times, and you can probably think about this yourself, think about your own job. Think about what you personally are doing. Think about your role. How much of your role, how much of what you are doing is something that a human could do versus what an AI could do? And this is what I call my scale of inhumanity when it comes to work, right? So I'll introduce you to my scale of inhumanity. And my scale of inhumanity is very simple. It's not really quantitative, it's more qualitative. It's more of, take your job, take the 8 hours a day of your job, or the 10 hours a day of your job, or the 168 hours, or however many hours a week, 40 hours a week, 35 hours a week. Look at your job. Just look at your job. Look at all of the time that you spent on your job. And think to yourself, how much of this job can be done by a machine, by an AI? And how much of your job needs to be done by a human? And that is your inhumanity scale, your inhumanity of work scale. So is your job humane, or is it inhuman? So are you at the 50%, like half your job requires a human and the other half could be done by a machine? Or does 60% of your job human, or 70% of your job human, or is 100% of your job human? Because 100% of your job human would probably be something along the lines of some real physical labor. Say you are a physical therapist or something like that. A physical therapist would be somebody who has 90% cannot be done by a human. 100% maybe cannot be done by a human. But then on the other side of the spectrum, you have accounting. And when you think of some of the tasks in accounting, that maybe all of it, maybe 100% of it, maybe 10%, 20%, 30%. Now, depending, if you are an accountant, you can correct me on this. There's a certain percentage of your job that probably could be automated. That's the inhumane part of your job. And of course, some people really enjoy that kind of thing. But if you ask me, it's kind of a waste of brain power, because our brains are so amazingly huge and wonderful and creative. Why should we be doing that kind of stuff? Some people enjoy it. Everybody has their own opinion on what's fun and what isn't. But every job has a humane and inhumane scale, right? And some jobs are more humane than others. And the fact is that these 30,000 jobs that Google is trying to eliminate are probably jobs that are inhumane. They're probably jobs that human beings probably don't need to be doing and probably shouldn't be doing, because, as I've said, human beings are wonderfully creative. We can do all sorts of things. We're incredibly flexible. We're so flexible, we can do almost anything that we want to. Whereas AI can only do a small piece of things. Technology can only do a small piece of things. All of these tools, robots, AI, all of these tools that we've created can only do a very small amount of work, right? And even some of the stuff that it does that is humanish, like, for example, images and text and writing stories and books and things like that, even some of that, you can tell. Human beings can typically tell if it's been written by an AI or not, because of the way it's written. What I'm trying to say is that all of our jobs are going to be subject to that. All of our jobs. So this 30,000 people at Google, you, me, everybody's job is going to be subject to this humanity-inhumanity scale. And the reality is that if your job is high on inhumanity, then you probably shouldn't be doing that job as a human. Some AI should be doing that job in order to free your time and your mind to do bigger, bolder, better, more creative things, more humane things. We are stuck in a situation today where human beings are doing inhumane work. And the reason why they're doing inhumane work is because we didn't have the technology, we didn't have the AI with the ability to do the inhumane work. So what we need right now is a reckoning, a redistribution of work, where the inhumane work goes to the AI and the humane work goes to the humans. And if you ask me, it doesn't matter if it's 8 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours a day, whatever it is. Even George Jetson, I think, worked 2 hours a week pressing that big button. But our human work is going to be so much highly valued. If the work can be done by a machine, let a machine do the work and let us do the rest of the work. But that work is going to be super highly valued. The physical work, the brain work, the creative work, the stuff that only human beings can do. We need to look at the value that those things create, the value that the human being can create, the physical labor that the human being can provide that the robot can't do. Everything that AI can't do, highly prized human work, humane work, should be left to the humans, and we should be highly compensated to provide that humane work. If the work is inhumane, then leave it to the inhumans. Leave it to the AI and focus work specifically on what we can do. And I think this is a challenge to these organizations who are letting these 30,000 people go. Don't just let them go. Take those 30,000 people and reallocate them into roles that are more humane. The reason why you're eliminating those jobs is because AI can do them better or about the same. The humans need something else to work on. They've got an amazing brain power. Give them something else to do. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.